Okay, let's start because we know Titilayo is a very busy person as well, and then she will have to leave in half an hour sharp. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, no matter where you are in the world. This is amazing. I'm very glad to have today the second talk with the women leaders. Yesterday, we had an amazing conversation with Margaret Kimani from Kenya. And now we have a special guest as well from Nigeria. So let me just going straight forward. Let me introduce to all of you Titilayo Ugumbambi from Nigeria. Titilayo is a gender activist, supply chain specialist, and executive director of nonprofit organization Boundless Hands Africa Initiative. Titilayo Ugambi champions as well gender equality and women empowerment through her grassroots work. We met Titilayo, we almost can say a few years back when we were implementing the project. And then we saw all the amazing will and empower that she has to help women all in Nigeria, and now is all around the world. So just straightforward again, because we only have half an hour today, and we want to hear from her. Titilayo, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. And let's start directly with the first question. Share a little bit with us, a little bit of your life experience that makes you a leader in your field or your community. But don't extend too much right now in this question about BHA, but it's more other things, because we will have enough time to talk about BHA. So tell us, what is this work experience that make you a leader and a successful leader?
Thank you very much, Joanne. It's a pleasure to be on this platform this morning. I'm really, really honored. Sorry, it's morning where I am currently. Like Joanne said, we met in Nigeria some few years ago, where I participated in the stakeholders engagements that they had with the SheTrades program. And I must say, I'm very proud of what SheTrades is doing and what every woman on this platform is doing. So straight up into my work as a leader. So I grew up in the northern part of Nigeria, where I was born in, a family of 6. I had 4 brothers and a sister. Though my parents treated us equally, male and female, when I began to grow, I started to notice, sharp contrast with the ways boys and girls were treated around me. The gender bias and stereotype were really visible. Boys were brought up to feel more superior, and girls were only prepared to be good wives, while boys were encouraged to be ambitious and even given leadership positions and responsibility. We were just groomed to, grow up to get a good husband and marry. But, it left very burning question in my mind. I grew up, went to the university. After graduation, I lived with my auntie in Lagos, and she was going through domestic violence. And, for several years, she was concealing it from us. And finally, she died with injury inflicted on her by her husband. That made me provoked, and I just wanted to do something about it. That was the turning part of my career when I decided to start giving back to women by advocacy, by going into the communities, talking about how we can prevent gender-based violence. But in doing that, I also had a career. So I started my career in supply chain in the oil and gas industry in Nigeria, where I also worked in a very technical field. The men in those fields make you feel like, are you sure you're competent to take up these roles? Are you sure you are able to handle, we'll talk about that maybe as our conversation goes further. So for me, I just felt like growing up in the North, I was privileged to be one of the few girls that could, go to school, and I needed to give back. And since 2016, where I started my work with women and girls, I've been able to empower grassroots women to start businesses. I've been able to, educate girls on how they can use their voice for themselves, how they can have choices. And with my work, I've, gained recognition both nationally and internationally. In 2019, I won the Future Women's Award on Social Work. In 2020, last year, I was recognized as a girl child advocate in Nigeria. And I've also been selected by UN Women Nigeria as one of the 25 young women activists to move the Nigerian feminist movement forward for the next 25 years. I've worked with a lot of sexual and gender-based violence survivors, and I just decided that a lot of these stories are not heard by people. And if people start to hear these stories, maybe it can be like a deterrent for people to, avoid things.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm actually writing a book on that, and I'm hoping that the stories of these survivors will be an inspiration to women around the world that are suffering from gender-based violence. Thank you.
Well, yesterday we had a writer, so now we have another writer here, and this is what we are looking for. Women, successful women, showing and telling the rest of the world how to move in certain things. And I want to extract something really good and liaising with what Margaret was saying yesterday. Margaret, one of the takeaways, a nice takeaway of the conversation yesterday with Margaret Kimani was every woman should lift up the others. And it's a responsibility. And then you are bringing the example at home when you were a girl, that your parents treat you, brothers and sisters, exactly the same thing. So this is something that is another pillar in when we envision the equality among genders, is not only working with women and empowering women where they are already a grow-up person. It should start at home. It should start when they are children, because actually sometimes, and this is addressing me to the second question, is the barriers, but a little bit before, sometimes even the inequalities that you find at the career levels is not only posed by men, but women as well help a little bit with those barriers too. So now tell us, for you as a female leader, what has been the most significant barrier in your career? And then how you are overcoming this barrier or these barriers that you will find it in your career?
Yeah, okay. So I mentioned earlier in my comments that I started my career in a male-dominated field. So the biggest challenge I encountered as a female working in a male-dominated field, in the oil and gas industry, I had to work with the engineering department as their sourcing specialist. So the field in general is biased. It just has that bias that women cannot be at the decision-making table or cannot get involved in certain things. The fact that I had to work extra hours, extra hard to show my capabilities, my skills and competence. So the private sector workspace is designed in such a way that women are easily excluded if you are perceived to be weak, really. I usually found myself as the only lady on procurement tables, decision-making tables, and men were easy to give the excuse for you that, oh, it's late, maybe you can't stay back for the meeting, or you can't handle a specific assignment because you have to probably travel to sites or travel outside the state. So for me, I had to constantly prove within my workspace that I was capable and could deliver results. And most times it took extra effort of long hours, which was not really necessary if I was seen as my fellow male counterparts because they didn't have to do that. It was also challenging to balance putting extra effort of work and, my family. I had a family, I had a nonprofit I was running. And sometimes I actually had to just put it in because I wanted to be I didn't want to be perceived as being weak or cannot do it. So I could only, overcome these challenges because I had a supportive husband that assisted me with house chores, maybe taking care of the children. But it was still tough to balance the demand of work in a mega city like Lagos. You close late and you're driving home, and you had the expectation of the home front. So I feel the significant barrier is the gender bias, that women cannot take up some certain positions, and we have to, work extra hard just to prove that we can, succeed on this position. And it has really helped me because I could prove that, yes, I could do this, and I was, going up the ladder like everybody. Another challenge and barrier I encountered when working in private sector was when women maybe get pregnant and go for maternity leave. By the time you are returning, your male counterparts have, gotten promoted or gone up the ladder, and you were just away for maybe like 3 or 4 months. So those are the kind of barriers I know women face, which I faced in my career. But the consistency, the steadfastness, I just kept on going on and proving that, yes, I could do this. It helped me. And so far, I've been able to, grow significantly in my career. Thank you.
You're bringing amazing things. And again, what I'm super happy is because although your story from Margaret yesterday is different, completely different, but it's the same kind of approach, is persistency. I mean, I understand where are you coming from the professional perspective, because originally I'm a civil engineer, and I work as a civil engineer for many years. You can imagine that was a long time ago, kind of another life, I imagine. But the point is, you are absolutely right. Oil and gas industry or civil engineering are very dedicated for men. And then even when I was studying, just few women were there. But the point is, again, is from home when you start treating equally. And then the issue of the maternity leaves, for example, is again coming from home, because nowadays, unfortunately, the world is changing, but very slowly, that men start having responsibilities in the maternity of the family, because at the end, it's not only the woman who has the maternity leave. Both of them has to have their responsibilities. But at the end, what I see when how you are facing the barriers is persistency, and be sure. I know I work as well in the supply chain management, and for a woman negotiating as a procurement officer, sometimes they say, yeah, we can manage, but at the end, women are better negotiators than men. I can tell you. So that's very good. That's amazing. Now let me go to another core conversation topic that I want to talk to you, because I'm so curious. Tell us more about the Boundless Hands Africa initiative, and especially how this initiative is generating changes in Nigerian communities, because we know Nigerian community is a very special community in terms of, I mean, like gender bias, violence, and even with I'm from Colombia, and then we have the problems with guerrillas and things and armed groups, and you have the same problem. So how is this initiative BHA is helping to change that approach in the girls and women in Nigeria?
Okay. So, like I said before, Boundless Hands Africa was bettered because I just felt that the narrative had to be changed. Like, women needed to find their voices. So when I graduated from school and started my career, me and a couple of my friends came together and we said, you know what, we can change the narrative by going into the communities, teaching them of preventive measures, talking to girls and women, sensitizing them and educating them about, issues like this. But when we started going into the grassroots communities, we realized that, yes, they needed the advocacy, they needed to hear what they can do to prevent this thing, but they also needed help. So we are in the communities doing our sensitization program, and a woman runs to us and tells us that her husband is hitting her, or she has an injury, she had to get health care immediately, or a child has just been raped in the community, and we just had to change our approach to service delivery. So we started to partner with CSOs, like organizations that are already in those grassroots that could easily provide those solutions to them. Another thing we realized was that most women that stay back in abusive marriages were women that were not empowered and did not know what to do. Like, they stay there because they feel, oh, the man is the one providing, I don't have another source of income, so I have to remain in this marriage just, so we had to form another program, our Boundless Women Initiative, where we started to support grassroots women empowerment. We did a couple of farming initiatives where we taught them how to, the little bookkeeping, financial literacy trainings, because we also found out that a couple of them, when the business starts, before you know it, it crashes because they don't have the basic bookkeeping skills or financial literacy skills to, go on with their businesses. So what did we do? How can you use your voice as a weapon to get a new sense of purpose and hope? As women, we needed that new purpose and hope. And then our programs is focused on women empowerment. We have this International Day of the Girl Child that we celebrate every year, where we go into communities. Sometimes we do for out of school girls. Sometimes we go to secondary school, to educate them on how they can start thinking of entrepreneurship at a very young age. Like, Nigeria has a very huge gap of employment issues, and you are not sure of getting a job even after school. So you need to start thinking of entrepreneurship as an early age. That was one of our programs. And we have the International Women's Day, where we do a conference every year, bring together women that have risen to the top of their career to come and mentor young women that are probably just finishing school or have finished school, private sector, public sector girls that just needed a sense of direction. And with our International Women's Day platform, we were able to create a support group for just women. Right now, we have over 300 members in that support group, where we attach them to mentors, we give them opportunities, work opportunities, business opportunities, grant writing, support. And, it's just a huge platform that we're using. So far, since 2016, when Boundless Hands Initiative was registered, we have implemented about 24 programs, both with local partners and international partners. We've empowered 300 grassroots women with businesses, financial literacy skills, bookkeeping, access to seed funding to scale up their businesses. And our sensitization and advocacy programs have reached over 25,000 people in several communities in Nigeria, both through our online and our face-to-face program. So we are generally changing the narrative because we have success stories to show from these women, from these girls. And that is what we've been doing since 2016.
That's amazing. That's amazing, Titilayo. That's amazing. How, I presume, although you can never cover all the women that you need to cover in Nigeria, but still we have people from a lot of countries in Africa and Asia that they are facing the same problem. What do you be your call to these women listening to you today? It's not yet the advice for women entrepreneurs, but these women, or to help you or to help their own communities. How to move on this?
Okay, first of all, because I'm talking to business women, I actually had some things that I needed to emphasize. Like I worked in the supply chain industry, and I had to register a lot of businesses. And women businesses also have huge challenges when it comes to scaling their business and getting contracts because they don't meet the requirements. So I put some things together that I wanted to share. Then we can come back to the general one later. So I like to emphasize that many businesses, especially startups, they think of funding as their major barrier to business growth. But with my experience working with grassroots women businesses, while funding is important, it is not the only essential thing for business owners.
100% with you, 100%.
Yeah, we need to invest in professional development. You need to seek training on different aspects of your business, what it takes to be successful entrepreneur. I know SheTrades has a huge resource on that, and that is covered. Secondly, invest in research and development, particularly using human-centered design to understand the need of your clients. Working as a sourcing specialist in both oil and gas and telecom sector, I've discovered the inability of suppliers to meet the registration requirement. Another thing I discovered was that 80% of the businesses had only men on their boards. So I wonder, where are the women? And I know we are doing extensive work. Women-owned businesses have to start putting more effort in building structures. That is the truth. If you know you want to scale your business, you want to do things, put the structure. It might be difficult at the early stage of your business, but it's critical and very important to business growth. Thirdly, innovation. Innovation is the only way for business to distinct itself and continue to be relevant. I'd like to give the example of Facebook. I open Facebook today, it has brought out a new tab, you just click and you share, you just do this. It's an example that you have to be innovative to scale and grow. Look around you. What is the other person doing that you can do and get a better visibility on your business? You need to be customer focused. Find out what your customers, from your customers from time to time. Are they satisfied? Customer feedback is a great way to find out if your business is satisfying the needs of your customers. Develop simple reviews and surveys. You might think you're selling just Ankara to people, but you can just develop a simple form. Did it meet your taste? What can I do to make your service better for your customers? Seek for opportunities to network and collaborate with each other. I've worked with women a lot. I don't like the fact that you see it as a competition. I just feel you're doing similar things. You have to start to forge partnerships. Embrace partnership within yourself. The world has moved to soft power, and one of the greatest aspects of this coalition is partnership. Just like the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you have to go with others.
Absolutely.
And finally, I would like, I just developed a quote for the new DG, that's Madam Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. It's somebody I've been watching for a long time. And I just want to say this. If Ngozi can do it, we can do it. Our voices must not be silent. We need to be aware of the systematic inequalities, but continue to strive, innovate, aspire, take risks, take initiative, and never be silent as a woman. Thank you very much.
My God, we can stay here forever talking because it's so interesting. And then I want to highlight a few points that you were mentioning. And I love the point that you are saying, even people in the chat are confirming this. It's not funds initially, because initially when you ask people, women own businesses, what do you need? Money. Oh, come on. It's not money. Why do you need money? Because I need training. Because I need other things. I need to meet people. And it's what you're saying. Innovating, probably you get the training, or probably you get the networking without the money. Of course, the money is important, but it's another pillar. It's not the only pillar. I remember one day I was in a big fair, and then we were introducing people, women-owned businesses, to impact investors, and then they were desperate to find investors. We need to find investors. We need to talk to investors. And then we were sitting with a conversation and say, why do you need an investor? Because I need money. Yeah, but you know that an investor will ask for equity. I mean, they will be the owner of your company. Oh, really? I didn't know. So you see, and then at the end, it's exactly what you're saying. Learning in terms of business, how to manage a business, because many cases, women are creating companies because they are very good on something, but they didn't pass through a formal education on business, and they need to learn. Just for the information of everybody, we are ready to launch, probably in April, we will start launching a new well, probably most of you already know the virtual learning space, that we have a lot of modules completely free. You can follow them on your mobile, etc. But then in April, we will start delivering a series of 27 modules in entrepreneurship, only entrepreneurship, for those companies, for those startups who don't have a lot of, as we are saying, bookkeeping, certain things that they are super basic, but women, they don't know. Some of the women-owned businesses, they don't know. So we will start, the 27 is the target at the end of a year, but in April, we will start the first 6 modules on entrepreneurship. So you see that, and then linking to the innovation that you are mentioning is so critical, that you start always thinking in how do I innovate? How do I innovate in my company, in my networks, in how do I improve my things? So these are key points that they are amazing you are bringing today. Final question, because only have 5 minutes left. Any advice to all women-owned businesses that are listening to you today? And we have more than 50 people connected today.
Like I said, you just have to keep perseverance. A lot of businesses start, and in few months they feel they're sinking. If you innovate, if you partner with people, women need to start working together. So you're selling Ankara and you know another person that is selling Ankara. You run out of Ankara, you can help your person, that your other neighbor that is selling Ankara, to sell hers while your own is remaining, and get it. You know, you just need to keep partnership, innovation, keep struggling. I know women are doing great work, but I know we can do better. Structures are very important. I mentioned it before. 80% of all the suppliers we have, when I was working in IHS Towers, were male-dominated on their boards. Where are the women? Are we not registering our organizations, or are we not getting to the point whereby we'll get noticed? No matter how small you are achieving, put it out there. You need to sell your success story. Storytelling is one very important way that you can get to expand your business. The little you make, sell it out there, and it will bring more, people to you. So I really appreciate this platform. I'm happy to connect with any woman here. I'm there on social media. My Instagram handle is titilayo_gubambi. My Twitter is @titiski, and Facebook, my full name. I'm happy to connect with everyone. Thank you very much.
Wow, Titilayo, thank you very much. I was answering some questions because people were asking where can they find the modules in the entrepreneurship. I put it where you can find an invitation to everybody to register in SheTrades.com. In the Learn area, you can find at least 27 modules in English. And actually for the African community, we already have 3 modules on AFCFTA, while the agreement along Africa, how you can profit from the agreement in Africa for other regions. We have more generic modules, and then we have in French, and then we have in Spanish as well. But then connect, and then the entrepreneurship package will start in March only. But for the moment, you can start with this one. I mean, it's amazing all the things that you are saying today. And what I love to hear is now that you have Margaret, she cannot resist not to show up because I know her and I know these women leaders. And then you are talking about the same thing, working together, as you are saying right now. And Margaret was saying yesterday, lift up other women. So at the end, and then women are so clear that they are more, from my experience, I'm talking about my experience, more ready to work together and to help each other together. So it's growing this community. And then you can do it through SheTrades, you can do it through BHA, you can do it through many other things. But the message here, and 2 days back to back, is the same thing. Work together, network together, lift up the others. So, Titilayo, what an amazing pleasure having you here. We know that you have to leave in 1 minute. So just really keep connected with us. Invitation to all women tomorrow. We have the last talk of this series of leadership with Adetun Abi Olenian. Unfortunately, I won't be present in the panel, but Tamari, that is leading all these organizations as well, she will be with all of you connecting to, and then doing the interview with Detun. That is another person working very close with us and doing amazing things in Nigeria as well. So thank you very much and see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.